Hey, Outreach Squad, thank y'all for joining us for this abbreviated podcast episode. We're excited. We got a new setting right now. We love the ambiance. I don't know if you can hear the water in the background, but this is our first podcast all together, so we're excited. And at the same time, we're going to get through some information rather quickly, but we just wanted to be able to do something right now. But we're going to talk about summertime. So this episode is about summertime. It's summertime. We're by the pool right now. We have our social distancing. I think we're at 4 feet right now. So if you're at home, don't be like us, be better than us. Get your full 6 feet so that we can be ready for whenever we get back to school, whenever we get back physically at work, because we've never stopped working. We've been at work, but when we get back physically together. So this is our summer edition. And so my name is Brian English. I'll let our other wonderful people introduce themselves.
Hi everyone, I'm Taryn Bright-Haskett, Assistant Director here at UT Outreach Dallas.
And I'm Joe Posada, also Assistant Director here at UT Outreach Dallas.
So one of the things that's important to us is making the summer, having a productive summer, making it useful, doing things with our time that are beneficial. And so we have a couple of things coming up this summer that we want to share with you. Most of it will be virtual. But we wanted to make sure that we had something in store for you. So the first thing that we have coming up is something called Bevo Boot Camp. And so Brother Joe Posada is going to tell you a little bit about that camp.
Yeah, so Bevo Boot Camp is an opportunity for our students to kind of engage other students, whether 9th grade to 12th grade. It's going to be happening at the end of June. It's going to give it, again, an opportunity to also engage. We're going to have a special guest like Texas alumni that are coming out with a panel. We're also going to have, we're actually going to start off Bevo Boot Camp with mental awareness and best practices with everything that's going on, whether it's COVID-19, with our political climate, or just everything that we're seeing going on social media. And then we're going to transition into some presentations. Our admissions team for UT Austin is going to be here as well, doing presentations to you all. And then we're going to have other folks just kind of engage you, and hopefully you get a chance to walk away with a lot of key information that you need to set you up for the upcoming year, and then also to prep you to get a better understanding and connect with other students as well. So that's going to be happening again June 22nd through June 26th, and we're going to do it. It's going to be a 5-day virtual boot camp where we're going to host 5 different workshops, one each day. So it's going to be about an hour long. We'll be able to, at the end of this video, we'll post the links as well, so you can go. But again, it's going to be Bevo Bootcamp 2020, June 22nd, 10:30 a.m. to about 11:30 a.m. all the way through June 26th, that Friday. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll definitely go from there.
Thank you, Joe. So this is a way that we can connect with our students virtually, get them up to speed on a couple of things. We didn't have as much time this school year that we wanted to have to share some things with you. So this is just a way for us to do it from afar. One other thing that we're extremely big on is giving back to the community and volunteering. So I'm gonna let Ms. Taryn Bright-Haskett share a little bit about our plans for the summer.
Okay, awesome. So we love community service. We need to always give back. We need to know what's going on. So I'm going to bring in different partners or different organizations and nonprofits virtually to you all to let you know how they're still making an impact on the community and how you can help as well, because this summer you need to have an impactful summer. You need to basically be able to look back over your COVID-19 summer and say, how did I spend my time, and was it useful and was it impactful? Yes, we want you to be mentally prepared. That's why we have Bevo Boot Camp. But we also want you to make sure you're giving back to the community, what's going on in Dallas and what's going on in America and what's going on globally. So we'll have different partners come out and talk to you.
All right. So yes, again, that's what another thing that we want to bring to you this summer is just ways to think about giving back and making yourself useful. Another thing that we are extremely big on is internships. My friend Joe Posada here interned with AT&T when he was a high school student. I think we've shared in previous podcasts. I think I was scrubbing toilets and pushing buggies and serving tables. And while there's a benefit to those things that we just talked about with work ethic, if I could have made the money that he was making to sit in some air conditioning, I definitely would have done that. I think things are different this summer And so your internship may not be in a traditional setting. It may not be in an office building. It may be working virtually from home. And I think even with that, our world is shifting now to where you'll see us working more from home as we've began to be accustomed to a little bit now. So as the world makes that pivot and makes that transition, I think now is a good time to start looking for internship opportunities. I don't think it's too late yet. Most of them are going to start around June or maybe sometime then for the summer. But even after that, there's still ways to intern now, or even intern in the fall, intern next spring. And so those are some things that we can be thinking about. So the type of skills that internships bring are, teaching you a little bit about professionalism, teaching you how to be on time, teaching you how to handle those big meetings and have those handle those big reports that you'll be doing. The difference is now you won't necessarily have to bring somebody coffee. They have to take care of their coffee by themselves right now, but your work will be, most likely from a virtual space, but it's still going to bring you those skills that you need. It's still going to bring you the mental fortitude that you'll need and the professional skills that you need. So one thing that we're working on is probably for next summer is bringing more internship opportunities for people such as yourselves, whether you're a college student or a high school student. So those are the things that we'll be working on this summer, so that next summer we can have some opportunities for you. What any other tidbits about interning that y'all have to share?
I just want to say, interning, if you don't have an opportunity, make you an opportunity. It's all about creativity this summer. I've had a lot of students who made masks and they started their own business, and that taught you some entrepreneurial skills that you might be gaining. So just make this summer creative, make it fun. Like you saw in our Tootsie Side video, making things fun and exciting. It's very important in a time like this. There you need to be shining light into every situation. So whatever that creative aspect you may have, making drawings, send them, open up your own Etsy shop, you've been saying you want to start your YouTube channel, and I'm speaking this to myself, starting that YouTube channel because you're at home and you have the time. And take whatever you may have, whatever iPhone or Android you might have, and start doing that, because you have a voice that needs to be heard. Amen. Nobody has a voice that you don't have, you know what I mean? So if you're a sophomore, freshman, junior, college, they want to hear from you, like what's going on virtually. Like for you, how is this impacting you? So you might make some money on the side on YouTube, sharing your voice, sharing your experience.
And I want to use Taryn as an example. So right now we work for UT in the Division of Diversity and Community Engagement. And Taryn mentioned sometimes you may have to create your own space. So she actually created her own internship with DDCE when she was still in college. And by way of her creating that internship, she went in the office and said, hey, I'm gonna come work for free. And they valued her skill, they valued her commitment, and that, when she was in college, that ambition, that drive turned into, years later, a full-time job to now where she can tell her story and tell her experience and her expertise to you, for you to be able to go and make your own internship. So sometimes, like she said, it's not something that's already there. It's not something that's you pull up on a website and you click and apply. Sometimes you create your own opportunities, you create your own space. And then in other situations like Joe, he went through a process, he went through a program and learned some skills about interning. So what's your biggest takeaways from your summer intern stuff?
No, for sure. I had already been working, but I did manual labor with my pops, pushing a lot more over the summer. We don't want to be out, especially in Texas with this heat. And so having the opportunity to actually be working with an organization, with the company, and not only just any company, with AT&T, it gave me the ability to see beyond what I've been exposed to, and then also see kind of the technology aspect, see how AT&T is always ahead of the game, how they were thinking about what are we going to do for the next wave of things, or what is going to be the next generation of phones coming out and what have you. So at that time, it was really neat for me to see that, because that's kind of what I wanted to pursue, and it kind of solidified my choice and interest in my major that I ended up going into, which is emerging media communications. And it's how can I apply all of that and my work experience and my college experience to the professional world. Now, while I was in college, I found my true calling, my true passion, which is higher ed. And so working with students. And so the neat thing is that these videos that we're doing, the social media engagement, the editing and all that, I learned all of that as a hobby, but I realized that through the internships and experience that's what I enjoy doing. But what was my true calling was working with students. So now I get to marry my passion and my hobbies together to be able to bring content like this to you all. And and obviously it's not perfect, but it's always is room for improvement. So those are one of the things that I definitely encourage you all, that is these experiences that you get to walk away with. You really, it's not only another bullet point or another paragraph on your resume. These are life experiences you get to walk away with and ensure how to apply them, and then ultimately help the next generation or your younger siblings. Because then I was able to help my younger sister do her internship with her company, and then ultimately now it's in Boston doing her own thing too. So those are some of the things that you definitely get to walk away with: the experience, the networking, staying in touch with folks, and then also opening the door for the next person behind you as well.
And internships are not always free, guys. Sometimes you gotta put the work in. I know we always want to secure the bag, get the money, get the M's, get the thousands, all get the designer, whatever you're trying to do. I get it, but sometimes you need to put the work in, because experience and the quality of experience outweighs that money or monetary value of that, because you can't put a price on experience and what you do and what's unique to you. So just making sure, if you got a paid one or I work for free, making sure you get the experience that you need out of it, and be positive about everything, for sure.
I would also say, right in line with those things, let's say you go to Bevo boot camp, you learn more about community service, you find an internship. Some of you may do some of those things, some of you may do all of them, some of you may not do any of them. If you don't do anything else, use this time wisely. Use this time to work on your skill. Use it to work on a craft that will eventually enhance the opportunities that you have in the future. So if you sew, work on your sewing skills. If you if you do wigs, get somebody's wig game right. If you do lashes, get somebody's lashes. If you cut yards, get on your 100-degree weather yard cutting grind. If you fix cars, get on your grind. If you do coding on the computer, work on your coding. There's so many webinars, so many things on LinkedIn where you can learn how to improve yourself and improve your skills. So if you don't have any formal approach to it, get on YouTube and go to work. Get on YouTube and work on your craft, work on your skills. So the main thing is that this summer, use it to be productive. Use it to enhance yourself, and not just yourself. When you're working on a skill or craft, you're using it for other people. So just like when Joe was talking about, he learned how to use all of his cameras and things like that. It's not just for him. He can use it for himself, but he's using it right now for you so that you can learn some things. And so often we have gifts and talents. It's not just for us, it's for other people to use. So, those are just some quick things to do with your summer. We were talking a few minutes ago, so I wanted to ask y'all a personal question. It's easy, don't be scared. We're talking about cars, and so I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna talk about our first car.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
And none of us were handed a silver platter, and so my mom gave me 91 Mazda Protege. And it was cool. It got me where I needed to be, but it had some tricky wiring. So when you turn the car on, the lights would come on automatically, not like the auto like now these days. It just it was a mistake. So it was the windshield wipers.
Oh, okay.
When I turned the car on, the windshield wipers just automatically went. So in order to turn the windshield wiper off, I had to turn the lights on. So even in the daytime, I had to just ride with my lights on to turn the windshield. And then the door to put the gas in, it wouldn't open regularly. So I had to get a piece of paper and wedge it in there and then pull the lever up just to be able to put some gas in there. So it was fun. It was it was rolling. And I always went to Big T Bazaar. And I got my speakers. Every car I had, I went to Big T Bazaar. And every time the bass would hit, the lights would dim. It was like every time the bass would hit, it was draining the power. I was riding one day bassing and the car just turned off. And I just had to roll on down the street and park and figure something out. But
what was your name of your car?
It was a 91.
What name? Did you give it a name?
Nah, it wasn't tight like that to have a name. It was unnamed. So.
Oh, okay.
What was your first car?
My first car was a 1990 Honda Accord. Yes, it was Accord, all white. I named her Betsy. Because she was reliable. Betsy sounds like a reliable person, right?
Okay,
so she was good. Now we was living at DeSoto at the time, So all my friends, when I first got my car, it was like, we gotta go to Parks Mall. And I was like, ooh, I have never driven Betsy that far. You know, like we were trying to get there. And we was cute. Hair was done. But I forgot to tell my friends, our fresh pressed and fresh permed hair, that my car only has heater in the summertime. So my car had heat in the summertime, and in the wintertime it had AC.
That's cool.
And I had to keep a jug of water. People was like, Terry, man, you're staying so healthy drinking water. I was like, no, that's for my car. This ain't thing happens. I could not go through I'm about to say wash interior. Car wash. Because it would leak in my little sunroof. I had sunroof though. I was out there popping. The water would fall in, and then the floor of the car was weak, so you couldn't put that too much pressure on it. It was kind of like I felt some of the wind come in, and it was all white with burgundy seats. My little headlights did not go up and down, so that did not work. And the radio didn't work. So literally, we was on our phones the whole time. Girl, yeah, I can't put the windows up. I can't hear. Yes, just vibing, and it made me appreciate all the hard work to just have a car to get me point A to point B, and then to pop it all off. I was happy that I was in extracurricular activities. At the end of the day, I didn't want nobody to hear my car how it started up, because at least you gotta do like this. And it was like, and it was like, it was literally like, boom, 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 and it was like shots fired. I remember one time I was trying to impress a guy, and I was like, he was like, so you need me to help you start your car? And I was like, no, I got it. I was like, just go to your car. Just go to your car. I got it. And he said he walked wherever he was going. He heard my car start up, and he was like, was that your car? And I was like, yeah. But I love my car. I was so appreciative. You couldn't tell me nothing. Even though my mom had the nice cars, the Jag and the Lexuses, I had a 1990 Honda, okay? Automatic seatbelts. Y'all probably don't even remember that or know about that. Yeah. Not y'all, automatic seatbelts, and it would choke me every single time it would go all the way back, choke me,
and then come back
to the front. So that was my experience. Betsy, shout out to Betsy one time.
One time. So my first car, it's actually had a Yukon. It was a 1997 Yukon, and my dad and I went half on it, and we actually got it through a job doing landscaping. You know, the owners, he just came out and like, man, I got this truck. It's been sitting out there. It's in pretty decent condition. You know, do you know anybody that wants to buy it? I forgot how much he told us it was, and my dad, we just looked at each other like, you know what? I was about to graduate high school. I didn't get my first car until actually graduating high school, and I didn't get to drive it until my mom told me that I couldn't drive it until I had my license. But my dad, every time we were with my dad, he would always say, like, we would pull out, my dad would pull out driving, and in the corner would just switch, and then just drive to get my experience, you know, to prep me for the license exam, right?
The prepping
for the
it's needed.
It's needed, and so, but my Yukon, man, I didn't name my Yukon, but man, I went through everything with that Yukon. I would travel from Oak Cliff all the way to Richardson to college, so I lived on campus, but every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday I was back home helping my pops with landscaping, so I would always drive back. And so it was a V8, so it was a gas guzzler. And I mean, I was a college student. Right before I started college, I mean, I was working, but I was only making $7-8 an hour, and so I was like, man, half my paycheck, if not more, went to keep it running and whatnot. But I mean, it was old reliable, and I kept her. She's still actually in the family. My sister-in-law has it now. But you know, my truck is my ride. I had everything up and running, the leather seats and whatnot. So in Texas seat, ooh, it hurt. And so it was funny because when you look at it from outside, it was like, oh man, it's an old truck. But when you got inside, man, it was neat. It was well taken care of by the previous owner. So when I had it, I was just like, did the same thing, the maintenance and what have you. Man, it took me a lot of times. Shout out to my best friend, Anacleto. That Yukon took me down to A&M so many times. We made it in record time too, coming back and forth. So it was really neat. So you know that was my first car.
Yes.
Cool. And I think we all had to work a little bit during the summer just to
for sure.
Just to have some gas to put in it.
What is that place that all the kids still go to jumping? My first one. Where was it? It's like the inside indoor jumping park with all like the inflatables. Oh man. It's off of Audubon.
I don't know.
It's South Dallas. It's like not South Dallas, but like off of Hampton. I can't think of it right now.
Oh, I can't think of it. I know you're talking about.
Shout out to them.
That was your job.
That was my first job.
Okay.
And I experienced a lot of that first job. I learned patience. I'm not gonna shut that woman out, you know what I mean? But you know, she gave the students of color the harder job. Go clean up the thorough in the back.
So I worked at clean up the, yeah, I mean, that's comes with the job.
But other people.
Sometimes you gotta clean up thorough. This is a word for somebody. Sometimes you gotta clean up somebody else's mess to get where you're going. Y'all take that.
Look, I know that's right, but baby, look, it was other well, strong, healthy people who work there too who do not. But shout out to them, cause look.
So I work Winn-Dixie and Lancaster on Pleasant Run. It's a Fiesta now. Then I worked at Coulter's right by Redburn.
Oh, not
Worked
Coulter's.
at Coulter's, yep. And after that, a bunch of warehouses. So
I just started doing landscaping since I was 8 years old up until sophomore year in high school. Then I started working extra block and AT&T that summer, summer 2008. And then after that, still landscaping until I worked
AT&T and H&R Block.
Pump it up. Shout out to y'all.
Well, thank y'all for joining us on this short version. And make your summer useful. So right now we're gonna get back to social distancing. We're gonna get back to using our masks. So y'all be good out there.